kind of like the flow.
Yeah, the flow's nice. Yeah.
Just random starting it.
Towards the end of the month, it's even better, but.
That's awful. Thank you, everybody, and welcome for. Oh, I botched that. Thank you for stopping by the. David.
Words are hard.
Thank you for stopping at the Evening Shift podcast. My name is Ethan. We have David here today with me. Malachi is being husband doing dad things. So Malachi is not making it today. This is just a me and David episode. The first one of its kind.
Yeah. Yeah, and, maybe the only. We'll see how things go.
I mean, you and me are used to it just being you and me for stuff. I mean, we've worked a lot of...
That's what my wife said. I was so worried about today's video, just being you and me. And she said, well, if you guys are anything like you were at work when it was just you and Ethan, you guys ought to do pretty good.
I mean, yeah. That's how you and me have done things for a very long time.
I mean, it was always just you and me for the longest time there. We did just fine.
God, I hated that.
Mm-hmm. It was rough.
Well, this is our official first episode of 2026.
Yep.
I believe this will be episode, I want to say 13. I'm pretty sure it's 13.
I don't know why I'm thinking it's much more than that.
No.
I think I'm counting the ones we didn't release.
There's only been one of those. And then one that I lost because
right.
I corrupted an SD on accident.
Yeah. Our best video ever, and no one will ever see it. It's sad.
Debatable.
Mm-hmm.
You still need to give me that whiteboard so we can put that up here.
Yeah, I just dug it out of storage, too.
Yeah.
So
we put the...
I got to find the tripod for it.
What was the first thing Malachi said we should do with it? A slur tier list?
Yeah. Yep. That'd be a good one. I want to do best gaming generation tier list and favorite soda. Or, favorite snacks while gaming.
I was about to say, favorite soda. That's a hard one.
Dr. Pepper.
I'm
going to guess your root beer.
No.
Really?
Like, if I have other options? Honestly, the one soda I have never turned down when being
Cream
offered
soda
is a Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Yeah.
Never turned one of those down in my life.
That's a really solid choice. See, for me, it's Dr. Pepper, followed immediately by Mountain Dew Code Red.
Well, I would put Sour Patch Kids in my Mountain Dew.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. You could take a flat Mountain Dew, throw a couple Sour Patch Kids in there, carbs it right back up.
No shit.
Like you never opened it.
I'll have to try that out.
Be careful with the Sour Patch Kids inside the soda.
Mm-hmm.
They get really slimy. If you're not a fan of that kind of texture, it's going to be a put off.
Yeah, I could see that. Let's give everybody an update on where we've been since we last recorded, because it was before Thanksgiving. So how did your holiday season go?
I don't want any extended family at my house for the next 2 months.
I can't imagine you guys bringing family here. Honestly, I just can't.
Oh, Chris and I are the ones that host every year.
No shit.
We host for just about everything.
No, I will not do. I have a really big house, but I don't want people in it using my bathroom.
Me and her can handle the load of hosting my big family.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're very good about.
You say big family? How many people? Roughly, if you had to guess.
I know we had about 30 some odd people. I can't remember if it was for Thanksgiving or Patty's birthday that we put together.
Here, in this house.
No, that's what I'm thinking. It was 30 some odd people.
Man, that's a lot of fucking people, dude.
Mm-hmm.
In one little house.
Yeah. Sometimes some of us are in here. A lot of the time we all, because my porch is so huge, a lot of us are sitting outside if the weather's nice. Most of us are outside.
And say it was 83 degrees on Thanksgiving, I believe.
And then 90 on Christmas.
Yep, and then 90 on Christmas. It was crazy. So I guess I could see it. Maybe do a rotation, 10 people at a time.
Yeah, no. So me and Krista, we hosted Thanksgiving, and then I was off Christmas Eve, Christmas Day this year for the first time ever.
How'd you get so lucky?
Just how my schedule was.
I never got a holiday off.
That's just how my schedule was.
Man.
And Christmas Eve we spent with Krista's family. And then Christmas Day was mostly just me and Krista and us. And then we had another Christmas thing with my family, and they all came here. And then New Year's, which my mother-in-law threw a New Year's party. So we had that. And then I had some random family come visit. And then my Uncle Jay was in town from Guyana, so I went to go see him. And then we finally had an off week,
Hmm.
which is why like we haven't done an episode of the podcast like all of December pretty much, was because like it was just nonstop
Yeah, so you
family
guys
thing after
know,
family thing
every
after
time I
family thing
messaged
after
them saying,
family
"Hey, are
thing.
we going to record?" It was always, "Oh man, we're so hella busy. I don't know where we're going to have time." And I don't think I ever really understood just how, like, when you said busy, like how busy you actually were until you just told me all that.
Well,
But
like it's one thing saying like I was doing a bunch of family functions.
yeah,
It's another thing whenever you realize that I was scheduling and planning most of these family functions.
yeah,
When I say me, a lot of that is Krista. I
yeah.
kind of just workshop with her to help her formulate her plan, and then I did a lot of cooking actually. I discovered I'm not bad at jalapeno poppers.
Really,
I'm actually not bad at those.
I haven't tried making them myself, but
Time consuming.
Brittany makes phenomenal. Well, no, wait. Who made the ones at your birthday party then?
Sarah.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Yeah, she was critiquing me a whole bunch and giving me pointers on my jalapeno poppers.
See, I had critiques, but I only shared them with Brittany.
Hmm.
I didn't know who made them.
That's fair.
Yeah. And so when you guys weren't in the room, because, Brittany, she wasn't brave enough to try them. And yeah, I gave her my critiques. I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
How was y'all's holidays? What'd you do?
So for our holidays, it was actually really, really lame. Very, very lame. But I mean, I ended up doing a pretty good Christmas for our in-laws, which, I mean, it'd been a long time coming. They really deserved it. But for me and Brittany worked both on Thanksgiving and on Christmas.
Of course she did.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way that they pay, you'd be dumb not to take it.
Yeah. No.
And it was offered. It wasn't mandatory. It was offered. She, didn't have to do it, but she did. And so that, I mean, I stayed home drinking Mountain Dew, playing video games. So I mean, pretty good Christmas.
I think
all
I've
in
seen you God of War.
Yep.
Is that what you've been playing recently?
I bought God of War 2018. I played it back when I bought it brand new on the PS4. Played it on my PS4 Pro. And then they just had a great sale. See, for me on Steam, if a game comes out, I'll, rent it or borrow it from a friend. And if I like it, I always say the same thing. Yeah, it was pretty good. I mean, once it hits $20, I'll probably buy it then. And then be damned, on the Black Friday sale or Christmas sale, Steam had it for $20 and I bought it. And it runs great on both my Steam Deck and my Legion Go. So I don't have to be tied to a TV to play it. I don't have to be tied to a PlayStation to play it. I play it anywhere I want. So that's why you see me on a lot. It doesn't matter. We're sitting at home watching TV at night and we're watching whatever she wants to watch, like Family Feud or some shit. Yeah. Yeah. Right now I'm trying to defeat all the Valkyries. It's a pain in my ass.
Dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Doing that
it's
the
tough.
First time around was awful.
Then I, for the first time, finally beat God of War Ragnarok. It took me 3 years and 2 tries. I just don't really like the game.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't like the game. And apparently I'm not the only one. A lot of people have problems with like the Atreus parts are kind of boring. Way too many cinematics that just, you can't skip on your first playthrough. And so, yeah, no, it just kept turning me off. I'm like, I don't want to play this shit. I'd go back to like Bloodborne or God of War. And
funny enough, that's actually why I don't play a lot of games that Stuart recommends me.
Because they're too cinematic?
I don't like cutscenes.
Yeah. I mean,
I just, if there's like, that's why the only issue I have with a lot of Metal Gear Solid games are the cutscenes, which we've been over that before.
Well, yeah. But in Metal Gear Solid 4, I would argue that
I still have no idea what's going on in that game.
I think that's a lot of people. Honestly, they'll be sitting there watching a cutscene with their controller in hand going,
Snake's
what
dying.
the hell's going on over here?
I think Snake has lung cancer at one point in that game.
No, it's not lung cancer. It's
No, wasn't it like the nanomachines or something that's in it?
Yeah, they're prematurely aging his body.
That's what it was.
He's like a 37-year-old in a 60-something-year-old's body now.
That's what it was.
Yeah. He has to have that bodysuit to keep him going. It's actually a really good story, but it's one of those games that has the argument of long cinematic story. Single-player games should not be that long or that heavy in cinematics.
Just make a movie.
There's no replay value.
Just make a movie.
Yeah. No, I mean you can fast forward.
I would watch the crap out of a Metal Gear Solid movie.
You think that?
Not a fan of the games.
I don't know. You think that?
No. After the Splinter Cell, like Netflix show, which
Mm-hmm.
I actually really enjoyed, I think a Metal Gear Solid show or movie would be killer.
Maybe, but who the hell would you get to play Snake? And which version of Snake?
Or even do Snake at all. Technically, you wouldn't even have to do Snake in the Metal Gear Solid universe.
Well, that's not a Metal Gear Solid game.
Well, there's a Metal Gear Solid Revengeance.
Okay, that's like saying, I would love watching Last of Us more if it didn't have anything to do with The Last of Us. It's just set in the universe. They can just do what they want with it.
I think they could do something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I think the way they did it was actually really smart, sort of. Follow the first two games.
Oh, so after my video game break that I'm doing right now, you know what I'm going back to immediately, and I'm probably going to record it?
Elden Ring.
Dishonored 1 and Dishonored 2.
Really?
I want to replay those.
Okay.
I've been really itching. It's the hand tattoo for anybody that can see it.
Wow.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite games of all time. It was one of the first games me and Malk bought with our own money.
I thought it was decent.
And I still have the Game Informer that we got that was like
I have it too. That
the
has it
whole
on the
Game
cover.
Informer was
That,
talking about
yep.
Dishonored. I still have that somewhere.
Yep.
Or Malkai has it. One of us has it.
I still have that one. I have a Game Informer in my closet that goes back to like the original Xbox because there was one game in there I was really looking forward to, and I must have read that thing front to cover 100 times on the shitter. But I mean that's really the only place I'd read them. And yeah,
while we're talking about the OG Xbox, while I'm thinking about it, did you ever?
yeah, I broke a rule there. It is what it is.
To be fair,
That's
I
my
don't
bad.
think I muted my phone either, so I'm gonna do that real fast too. Sorry, everybody. Usually we do this part before I start recording, but me and David ain't seen each other in a while, so we kind of we're chatting a lot beforehand and wanted to get started.
Yeah, Chatty Cathy's over here.
But I think the game was called Blood Omen, where you played some white-haired vampire dude, and like when you drank blood, it would just come at you in a stream from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, I think that was Blood
I'm pretty
Omen.
sure it's the Soul Reaver games that come after that are part of the same universe.
Did Soul Reaver come first?
No, because
Or
I'm pretty
last?
sure. No, because the main character you play in Blood Omen, the vampire guy, his name's Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And in Soul Reaver, I believe you're like Kane's brother or something. And you have like these beautiful wings, and like you're such a cooler vampire than he is or something. And he strips your wings down, throws you in the Soul Well thing, and that's how you become a Soul Reaver.
I never played them, but I feel like I was there
played
now.
bits and pieces as a really young kid, and I sucked at it.
See, when I was a kid, I was playing games. Let's see. Well, I say kid. I wasn't really a kid. When the OG Xbox came out, I think I was probably 14 or 15 when it came out.
I was very little.
Yeah, you probably still
single
crapped in your
digits.
pants and, other good stuff. But now, when the original Xbox was out, I played games like Doom 3. I was really big into RPGs during that time. I had a PS2 and an Xbox, and on PS2 it was Final Fantasy, and on Xbox it was whatever JRPG they had that was on Xbox.
I played a lot of we would replay Kingdom Hearts 3.
I could never get into that game. The whole series, I mean.
I don't mind Kingdom Hearts. Definitely not my cup of tea. Now, if we get Sarah to actually sit and talk on the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts is one of her favorite games on the planet. Like the whole series, everything. She has a whole bunch of Kingdom Hearts stuff. Malka got a tattooed Keyblade on him just
So
because Sarah
it would
loves
literally
so
just
much.
be an entire video of her gooning over Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, she probably would take the whole video to explain the lore.
Yeah, why not? People dig that shit. Yeah, especially something that you're passionate
Let
about.
us know if y'all want to hear lore, obscure lore of random video games. I could do a whole video on Dishonored at this point.
Yeah, but you know what? Trying to get any of our wives on this podcast, it's a tough battle.
Well, for me, I'd have to have somebody watch babies. My kids are a lot for an hour and a half.
Yeah, they're a lot any time of day.
Yes.
At the drop of a hat, without moment's notice. You're sitting there watching Shrek. Next thing you know, anarchy, and you're trying to figure out how you got here.
And Gabe has learned how to tear his diaper off.
Yeah,
So I've
go through that
caught
phase.
him free balling it through the house a couple times.
I know that's one of the phases in development is the whole nudist thing. There's other phases that kids go through. I read a paper on it when I had my first godchild, and man, it's crazy times. Like in the first 2 years, you guys really go through it. And then after 2, um, you guys go through it again, but in a lot more different direction.
A lot more sass.
A lot more sass. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of pushing you, seeing how far you'll go before you lay hands.
Oh, just having to bow up at my daughter was not something on my bingo card.
Yeah. No, I remember the first time I had disciplined my goddaughter. It was not a fun time. I felt like shit afterwards.
I mean, it's I'm not gonna say every. Most parents feel bad about having to discipline a child because, like, in the back of your head, you understand too. It's like this child doesn't 100% know that the thing they did is wrong every time. It's something that usually
I
hits
have
me.
heard that argument where it's like disciplining younger kids isn't so much about disciplining the kid because they're probably too young to understand why they made a mistake or why it's considered a mistake. And I read one article where a psychologist said that when you physically discipline a younger child, you're actually just doing it for yourself more than you are, like psychologically speaking, like in the back of your mind, subconsciously, you're probably doing it more for you than you are for them to actually have learned anything from it. And I just keep having flashbacks of my mom, you know, beating us into nap time so many times. And I'm just like, but I'm not tired, so I'm justified. But I guess not, because here comes the belt.
Eh.
But no, I did. I read that paper, and then I read like 1 or 2 papers on the psychology behind the disciplining
Well,
methods of parents, and I found a lot of it fascinating and a lot of it bullshit.
I got two really young kids. I got a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And so with the 3-year-old, it's kind of having her understand, one, that there's consequences to behaving in a way that she knows better.
That's extremely important. Yeah.
So we've been working on that a lot, and been working on her tone and how she talks to me and my wife.
Yeah, and that's actually very important is positive reinforcement on that on that front because that was a big thing. I remember growing up. It was yes sir, no ma'am, please,
Thank you.
thank you. Don't speak unless you're spoken to when you're out in public. Don't act like a damn fool or you're going to go to the bathroom.
Right now, I'm trying to get her broken out of like "gimme," that's mine, and that
Yeah.
kind of language and stuff. And
Yeah.
like, I don't want Gabe to be following that because like I also like trying to. You can't really discipline a 1-year-old. You kind of can't. It's more so teaching them than it is discipline. Like for instance, we're breaking them out of biting people.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's just a phase. I mean, that's part of development. A lot of kids go through that.
Yeah. Well, like, and the other day, like, he headbutt me, like, intentionally walked up and, like, slammed his head into my forehead. And so I took my hand and went bam, 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 bam on his forehead. Like, I didn't hit him at all. Like, it was more so to stun the crap out of him.
Yeah.
And, like, then he just looked at me and I went, no, sir. He cried, ran to mama. So he knew he got in trouble.
I have found in my travels that there's really only 2 actual camps of parents. At the end of the day, ultimately, there's only really 2 camps. You have a burner on. Your little kid, maybe 3, 4, right? Walks up to the stove or to the oven, and they're going to try and touch that burner. So what do?
I let them.
You let them touch the burner. Why? Because they'll only do it once. That's a life lesson that stays with them the rest of their lives. Now they themselves have physically related action and consequence.
And like that's something.
But then you have the other group of parents that would whack the hand away, and the kid learned nothing other than mommy's a bitch.
Well, and I've talked. Me and Chris have talked about this, and like I'll say it sounds like I'm saying it jokingly. If like for instance, Patty's climbing on top of something she probably shouldn't be climbing on top of, I'll be like, she'll learn a valuable lesson, and like everybody kind of giggles like that's funny, and it's like no, she will learn a valuable lesson when she falls off of the thing I told her to not climb on.
Yeah, action meet consequence. That's an important thing for them to learn in an early development phase. And actions have consequences, and they're not going to always understand that you smacking them though is the consequence of that action. They're not going to always relate that.
And also, I don't want to a part of me doesn't want to diminish this exploratory nature, if that makes sense. Like I want them to learn and I want them to try things and do things. Yeah. And like if I constantly reprimand and discipline a child before they even have the opportunity to try to figure something out, they don't get to attempt to learn anything, and that defeats the whole purpose of a child learning things.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to get rid of the explorative nature, but you also want to make sure that they understand that there are boundaries and that those boundaries make sense in the long run. They're not going to understand it immediately, but understanding boundaries is extremely important, not only for their development, but when you're out at another person's house, you don't want them feeling like they can be explorative there too.
Yeah, no, because like Patty got in trouble for standing on the back of the couch.
Mm-hmm.
She tried to do it at my grandparents' house, and I just had to look at her. She got down, didn't do it again. She
Yeah,
realized that she could not do it there. But
that's good,
I
and
also
get
have
that in their
one.
mind.
I got a mean dad look. I got a
Yeah.
good dad look.
See, I don't have a good mean dad look, but I'm told by a lot of women that I have a very sexy dad voice when I'm mad.
Oh, I don't have the
You broke
sound
your
on.
buttons.
No, I didn't break my buttons. I just forgot to turn the sound up. There it is.
Wow.
But now that we've had a 20-minute tangent, I believe
It was a good tangent.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm sure people have their opinions, and I don't think we said anything that they agree with there.
Well,
And that's the beauty of parenting, I guess, really, is everybody's right.
to be like just to hit it on the head one more time before we move on to the tech stuff we wanted to talk about is like I'm intentionally raising my kids how my parents did not. I love my parents to death, but I did not agree. And as an adult, I don't agree with some of the ways they handled things. So I'm doing it my way. I don't. I take constructive criticism.
A lot
but
of people in your generation, and some in mine, I'll admit, my generation, we were, some of us had the same mindset, but I feel like maybe maybe what you're actually feeling is resentment towards the discipline, but I don't think it goes appreciated enough what it did for you as a person morally and ethically. You were raised on consequences. You were raised on your actions directly reflect you and your own, and there are consequences to those actions. So while you might not have agreed with the execution on the punishment, you have to admit that at the end of the day, you came out a much better person, and now you're able to take those and move them on to future generations. And yeah, you can put your twist on it. I completely applaud every generation finding out, okay, how did my family, how did my mom and dad do it? How can I improve on it? Not change it, not do it, but improve upon it. Like my mom beat me with a belt, and my grandmother whacked the shit out of me with a wooden stick. She literally had our names carved on those wooden spoons from back in the day. Oh, dude. My grandma said stop once. If we didn't stop, we got the spoon. And she made sure she rattled that jar so we heard it coming, because that was part of the punishment is looking for my grandmother with that damn spoon in her hand. And I feel like at the end of the day, the three of us, we came out much better for that. I mean,
will you all give me 2 seconds? Gabriel, I'm busy. I love you, buddy.
But we came out. We came out really well. I mean, I can make jokes about how, when I was 13, my mom threw me through a sheetrock wall, and then made me fix it after I woke up, and all those stories. And some things were excessive, but at the end of the day, it was literally just,
At the end of the day, it is what shaped us into the people we are now.
exactly. So you have to remember that when you look at your way of disciplining actions towards your children, and you say stuff like, I'm going to do it differently, what you should say is, I'm going to take how they did it, and I'm going to improve upon it. Maybe I don't need to beat my head on my kid's head with a fucking wooden spoon. That would have been great, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you still have to admit that those actions and consequence lessons that you got really paid off. Mm-hmm. People look down on corporal punishment like that stuff, like spanking children and stuff like that.
I spank our children.
Now, when it comes to public spanking, I disagree with it. I'll tell you one reason why. Because my generation, my parents, okay, my generation's parents, we went to the bathroom. Oh yeah, you could act up and you could yell, and he's like, "No, Mom, I don't wanna," right? She would nonchalantly, very calmly walk you to the bathroom, close that stall door, and then whoop you in a circle. And then she'd look at you and say, "Now pull your pants up. We're going back out there. Wipe them tears away. You want to act like a full s'more?" No. Okay, then let's go. Yeah. Yeah, are you going to yell at me again for those Cheetos? No? Okay, then. And it worked. And that taught us not to act like damn fools in public, which if more
honestly,
kids had.
it's funny you bring up, like, for instance, like, let's say we're at a grocery store or something. Whenever Patty starts acting up really bad and like yelling about something she wants,
Yeah.
all I got to do is look at her and go, "We'll go back to the car."
Yeah, that's right.
And she immediately starts acting right. She's like, "I don't want to go back to the car. I want to be in the store. I want to do things."
That's right. Yeah, I don't want to do that. And then, you do that enough and it gets into their heads. If I'm out in public and I act like a damn fool, there's going to be consequences. Well, now they're not going out in public acting like a fool.
I'm just resetting the camera real quick, almost at the 30-minute mark.
Yeah.
Golden on the camera.
All right. So now that we have triggered all 10 of our listeners, and they're going to argue in the comment sections or on TikTok about how wrong I am, because usually I'm wrong. Let's go ahead and jump into today's main topic that we really wanted to touch on, and I was shocked. There was the topic you wanted that you picked, because so you guys know, Ethan's not what you would call
I'm not a
technical guy. Okay. He is.
Now,
I put thing in, thing works. I'm done.
If I may, I'm not bad with software once I get my hands on it and I learn how to use it. Hardware is where I am not good with.
Yeah. And and that's the difference between a mechanic and a technician. I'm more of a mechanic and you're more of a technician. Same thing with my wife. She always yells at me. Now, granted, I once proved to a friend that I could do some pretty cool shit when I hacked his Facebook, and he had no idea I had hacked it, and I showed him how I did it. And then my brother-in-law, who's also in IT, I talked to him about turning a couple old computers and from some friends he had into zombies for us. And he was shocked I knew what that term meant and how to execute. So, I mean, I know software, but I don't know, like, setting up, I don't know, some weird shit on TikTok, or you want to change the tones of your alarm clock, or the smaller and more insignificant things in software that I don't really bother myself with. That's what I have my wife for. But the big things when it comes to software, yeah, I know my way around the block.
But I wanted to talk because I know that you've been following stuff about that. What are we calling it?
The Gabe Cube. Yes, the Gabe Cube.
You and me have talked spotty here and there about this new RAM shortage that's been going on, and
yep.
Kind of, I'm going to attempt to not trigger a full-blown David rant about the RAM thing.
No, actually, you're going to be very surprised with where I sit on the whole thing.
But I wanted to talk about some of the new tech stuff that's happening. Starting off with, what is the official name for that stupid thing?
Right now, it's still just a Steam machine, which makes sense. I mean, when they originally did the first set of Steam machines way back when, it was a hot mess. It was basically Steam was the free agent, and everybody had their own team. They're like, "Hey, we're Team Steam," and they were absolutely horrible. But now this new Steam machine, I'm very interested in it. I don't quite understand Steam's long game with this, but I mean,
well, because like I know when we originally talked about it the first time, because I think we have talked about it briefly on the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it kind of sounds like they're trying to hit a console market, right?
They're trying to bridge the gap between console and PC.
But they are marketing it more as a gaming PC.
So marketing right now, the very limited actual true Steam marketing on this thing is more like their vision. They've done a very good job of making the vision clear, that it's a bridge, it's a gap between console players saying PCs are too complicated, and PC players, believe it or not, we exist. I'm one of them, who are like, I wish PC gaming could be more streamlined. The middleman that is Windows, you got all the launchers for all these different games. You got all this other shit.
That's my least favorite thing on the planet.
Exactly. So, but with Steam,
specifically Stellaris, and having to have a Paradox launcher and having a different Paradox launcher for every Paradox game annoys the piss out of me.
Well, see, the beautiful thing about Steam OS, and this will be implemented on a software level, compared to the way Steam Deck has to handle it, is on Steam Deck right now you have to download a third-party app called Junkie Store, and that'll allow you to use third-party launchers. Like right now, even without Junkie Store, you can put Blizz.net on the Steam Deck and play Blizzard games. Why? I'll tell you why. This is beautiful. This is beautiful though, because of Xbox's acquisition of Blizzard. Microsoft has started putting a lot of non-Blizzard Xbox games on the Blizzard launcher. And as it stands right now, you can't use Xbox Game Pass on SteamOS. Maybe that'll get fixed, but I doubt it. So what you do is you download the Blizzard application. There's a whole YouTube tutorial on it too, guys. Watch the tutorial. There are some things you got to do. Nothing that you need like a college education on to figure out. But you download Blizzard, you run it, you execute it. You sign in with your Game Pass ID and the whatever few Game Pass games are on the Blizzard launcher. Now you can play through your Blizzard launcher.
Huh.
Yeah. You can put the Epic Store on there, Rockstar, the stupid Ubisoft Connect. I think you can get on there. But
Ubisoft Connect.
And this is why we need something like the Steam machine, because you have console players that want to come to PC, right? They're tired of the walled gardens. They want to come to PC, but Windows isn't it. Windows isn't it, and I don't think Microsoft gives a shit enough to make it work. I mean, look at the Xbox full screen experience, which is the dumbest name ever. That is on the ROG Ally 2, which is what I'm calling it. I'm not throwing in all the other words. The Xbox full screen experience is buggy, cumbersome. It's just not it. They wanted to be Steam Big Picture, right? But you got that damn window still in the back, and it's always there. It will always be there. And so it's just not where it's a good beginning, maybe, if Microsoft actually sticks with something for a long period of time, which Microsoft isn't really well known for. And maybe that could become something. But man, SteamOS. You can get SteamOS on more machines. It's the middleman between PlayStation and Xbox and PC. If you want to know, I wonder if I could do this on SteamOS. It probably does exist, and there's a great tutorial on some Reddit site, on some Reddit page, and it'll walk you through. The guys on Reddit that are really about SteamOS are great guys and girls, but they're very thorough. They want you to learn. They want you to know how to do it because they want it to grow. They don't gatekeep. If you have a question, no matter how dumb you think it is, they will answer it. They will answer it with knowledge, and they'll walk you through it themselves if they have to. So I'm very excited about the Gabe Cube. I'm not excited about the price. So if recently,
I think when we were talking about it originally, we talked about it like we all kind of saying it was like, oh, it's probably in the ballpark of like $600 to $800, and then we saw that they were probably going to market it as a competitive gaming PC.
Yeah, I think it was
like,
Gabe.
Oh, so that means it's probably going to be more like $1,500.
I think it might have been Gabe that said it, or it could have been the lead technical designer on the Gabe Cube. Said that they're looking to position it competitively priced as a PC, not a console, which I think was a big mistake. Because if your vision is to bring the console players over and show them how easy it can be to integrate into the PC ecosystem, you want to appeal to them. PC gamers, we already know the specs. We already understand this performance. If we want it, we'll buy it. That's simple enough. PC gamers, if we want it, we're going to end up buying it. But console gamers need to be sold on it. Right? So you got the Sony ponies and the Xbots. If you're trying to, that's what they're called. If you're trying to sell
Why
them
does that
on,
sound like slurs.
because they are. But if you're trying to sell,
Wait, I'm so sorry, but what would you call the Nintendo people?
Nintendrones.
I was gonna say weebs, but then
Nintendrones is better. Nintendrones. But if you're trying to make this bridge, this gap between console and PC, and you're wanting to appeal, especially with the price, which I'm going to tell it to you here in a second, if the leaks are to be believed, if you're wanting this stopgap, if you're wanting to look at console players and be like, if you've been wondering about the PC experience and you're curious and you want something you just plug in and it just works, we have the solution, and it's on SteamOS, which is a phenomenal OS. You do not come out and say, but we are going to price it competitively with PCs, in my opinion, because most console players right now, if they hear that and they go to Newegg or Micro Center or anywhere and they're looking at PC parts right now, they're like, oh, I'm never going to fucking buy this. I'm not going to be able to afford it. And so What they should have done is they should have appealed more to the console market. They should have done something to appeal more to the console market instead of saying we're going to price it more competitively as a PC. And then you would have gotten more console players going, I'm gonna wait and see, let them cook. Maybe. Whereas PC gamers, I promise you, we've probably already decided if we're buying it or not.
I'm probably gonna get it, regardless of what price it is, because I can more than likely, as long as I just stash a couple bonus checks, I'll be okay.
I'm glad you said that. Mm-hmm.
But I want to get it for my wife, so that me and her can play games, because she's learned keyboard and mouse only for the sole purpose of getting to play games with her brother and Sammy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to get her something she can use a controller with and play easier with, so
And
that
see,
me and her can play games
the
together.
beauty of Steam OS, at least on the Steam Deck, I have the file, I have the image. I mean, I'm thinking about putting it on my laptop and having my wife test it out too, see what she thinks about it. But the beauty of Steam OS is it's literally built from the ground up to be controlled with a controller. So, like, you have the Steam OS with big picture mode, even though it's actually not just big picture mode, and then you have desktop mode. Both of them can be controlled exclusively with the controller.
They had those two modes.
Yep.
I don't know why I keep forgetting about that.
I go to desktop to do all my editing, and you can literally do it all from controller. It's cumbersome, but you can do it, and that's the beauty of it, is that you can if you need to.
So, what is the leaked price at right now?
Okay, so right now, and this is the appalling part. This part that really pissed me off, and if anybody's a real PC gamer, they'll understand why. So they're talking about the 512 gigabyte model, which...
That's the smaller model, right?
Right. Now, to be clear, they're both digital. Neither one has a disk drive, right? They're both digital. So what that means is you got to literally download the entirety of any game or application. 512 gigs, you're going to get one Call of Duty and maybe some Flash games on that thing. And 512 gigs should not exist in 2026. That shouldn't be a model. That's ridiculous. But anyways, 512 gigabyte model for $950. Yeah, exactly. That's stupid. That's absolute. I get why they did it now. I have a feeling it wasn't. I have a feeling it was going to be 1 terabyte until the whole Micron bullshit. But 512 gigabytes for reference. After SteamOS takes up its 30 or 40 gigs, you're getting one Call of Duty game and 2 or 3 40 gig games on there, maybe. Before you're having to delete stuff to make room for another game. $950. Now, if you want the 2 terabyte, this is why I say I think it was meant to be a 1 terabyte before Micron did their bullshit. The 2 terabyte model is literally only $100 more.
Really?
That's it. Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Makes no sense to me. I'm doing the math. Now, again, if these prices are to be believed, but these were prices leaked from an Australian retailer when converted to American dollars, as these are the totals that they came out to.
This could be in the ballpark more so.
Right, and these don't include any tariffs.
Oh.
So these are prices before tariff. So you got to remember, Australia doesn't have the same tariffs against...
and technically, those prices are probably a little bit different, too, because all this RAM stuff going on right now.
Yeah, with the conversions and everything, and with the RAM... Now, the RAM shortages worldwide. But, with Australia, you're not including the same tariffs that we would have to incur bringing them into the States.
And they got a lot more taxes on stuff over there, on a lot of their stuff, don't they?
Yeah, Aussie tax is pretty high. I know some regions are as high as like 20% or more, 20, 30%. Yeah, that's crazy.
America.
Yeah. But so you're looking at $950 for 512 gig and about $1,100 for a 2 terabyte, which, I mean, for $1,200 for a 2 terabyte, even though the rest of the hardware is a little bit lackluster, it's sort of anemic, not bad, especially with the chip shortages.
Honestly, though, not as bad as I thought it could have been. Because honestly, I was kind of half expecting.
You blew my mind with that, with the whole not as bad as it could have been thing.
Well, like I kind of expected them, like when we were talking about how they were talking about it being like a gaming PC.
Mm-hmm.
I was like honestly expecting like $1,500 to $2,000 for the dang thing.
And you have the swappable faceplate on the front. Somebody has already within the development team put an e-reader thing on the front of it, and one of them made an LCD screen that you could put animated GIFs on while it's running. So, I mean, it harkens back to Xbox 360. I don't know if you remember, but when the 360 first came out, you had those custom front faceplates.
No.
Yeah, you were probably still sucking on your mom's tit when that came out.
I,
Anyway.
I was like 10 years old when 360 came out.
Okay, so at that age, then you were just getting your bedwetting under
But mind
control.
you,
So I was
we
close.
bought a secondhand, very used Xbox 360 from somebody else, and we beat that thing into the ground. We played that thing so much.
Yeah.
Like, it almost died before our original Xbox died.
Dude, I remember, oh my God, the 360 era was on and popping. It was probably the last great era.
Dude, in my opinion, I think PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 were probably some of the best consoles.
Oh, hell yeah, they were. It's also a great time for third-party manufacturers, man. We were doing all kinds of things. They had these horrible, never do it, vinyl glue-ons for the shell of your 360. And if you ever wanted to take it off, you could forget about the finish afterwards. So you had this beautiful 360. You threw some cool looking graphic design on, which was like that damn thick, by the way. And you would put it on, and like after a month or two, you're like, you know what? I don't like this. And as you're peeling it off, it's like taking the finish with it. You're like, wow, I regret this instantly. But the front faceplates were cool because you could pop them on and off as many times as you wanted. I loved them. I had a wood grain. I had a Gears of War one. I mean, dude, I loved it. If I'm playing through like the Gears trilogy, I'd slap on the Gears faceplate. Yeah, dude. You know, if you had, because the idea was if you have it in your entertainment center, you're really only seeing the front of it.
True.
So how cool would it be if you could customize the front faceplate? You know, and like with your Series X, it's just a black rectangle sitting in your entertainment center. How cool would it be if you could maybe jazz it up a little bit? You know,
I just give my daughter some markers.
that hurts on so many levels. And I'm not really a huge Xbox fan, but that hurt to hear. I mean, you might as well just say, "Oh, I'll just give my wife some glue and some glitter and let her bedazzle that bitch." You know, actually, that's not a bad idea. There's a lot of like TikTok hacks out there for like jazzing up your keyboards using Elmer's glue and glitter. Yeah, Linus did one where he's like, you know, we're going to try this out, and he's like filling in the gaps of his keyboard with Elmer's glue, and then just throwing glitter all over it. Oh, that hurt one. That hurt so bad. But at the end of it, when he goes to rinse it off, it all just comes off, except for the Elmer's glue.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Hey, so while we're thinking about tech stuff, what do you think? So I keep seeing like you know, we've had like what are they called? Like the Google glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen a new one, I can't remember the name of it, where like, you know, it gives you like an actual like HUD practically on your glasses.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about those kinds of things? Is that something you'd
No,
be
those.
interested in having?
Yeah, I'm very interested in trying those. You can use them with your phone. You can use them with your laptop. But it depends on which one you're talking about because they do have one that is like a virtual glasses where you could have like your desktop on your glasses, several tabs open. That requires you to have a processor that has a TPU inside of it so they can do virtualization. Those are a little expensive, and the fact that you have to have particular hardware, not a huge fan of that. And then the ones that are strictly for gaming, which Asus has a new one coming out, which looks phenomenal.
I think it was Asus
Yeah.
that I saw.
Yeah, Asus. I mean,
I wasn't going to correct you. I was just going to say
it is what it is. You know, Asus. They have some glasses coming out which I think are going to be phenomenal because you can have as big as a 171-inch 1080p screen, which is pretty cool.
Just like on your glasses.
Yeah. So like you hook up your phone or console or gaming handheld to it, and it projects it to the image, and then it just expands it out in front of you like a virtual reality kind of thing. Those are pretty cool.
I love the idea of having like a pair of like Tony Stark glasses for like, let's say I'm outside and it just like it will like highlight and scan things, and like if I want to like focus on something, it'll zoom it in or like give me some information like, oh, this is a tree. No, this person has cancer.
Wow. That hold on. That what the
I've had a lot of coffee today, man.
So many extremes just in that little demonstration. Those kind of glasses already exist. They do. Here's the problem. Is let's say you're walking by somebody with a pair of glasses like that and they have cancer. Let's say you walk by somebody and these glasses are out in the wild and you're able to do that, man. You know how many people threw a fit with the first Google lens. They're going to be in the bathroom filming my baby.
Oh yeah, no,
There's
I remember
so
that.
many problems with it, and I completely understand it. And here's my thing: is I think technology like that's not necessary.
Sure.
I don't think we need it. I'll be
I,
100% honest with you. The only place where that would apply is not in the commercial. Maybe the commercial sector.
honestly,
Maybe.
if I just had a pair of glasses that I could like play music from and take phone calls, that'd be okay.
Yeah, sitting. Well, I mean, but those things already exist. You
I
have
know they exist
Apple
already.
had that
I know
damn $3,000
they
headset.
exist already and
Yeah.
stuff. I was just like, I'd be okay with that.
I think VR is a dead technology. I think honestly though, I think VR is a dead technology. I think anything that like Google Lens or the thing that Asus is making, I think all of those are niches and are ultimately a waste of sand. To even, it's one of those where they wanted to know if they could do it, so that's why we're doing it. And if you happen to enjoy it, that's just a byproduct of seeing if we can do this.
I really wish that they would like. We need another breakthrough in VR or something of that along those lines. I'd love to see something actually like super cool come out of all that.
Here's the biggest problem with VR. The biggest thing holding it back are players, gamers. We can sit here and talk about how cool of an idea it would be to do these things, but then in practice they suck. We don't want to do that. I don't want to. I don't want to have. If I want to sit down and play 3 or 4 hours of Gears of War, I do not want to have to go get physical therapy afterwards. I don't want to have to take a cold bath because my muscles hurt. Nobody want not okay. No, not nobody. The vast majority of gamers thinks it's cool, but they don't want to do it. Otherwise, these things would be flying off the shelves, and there'd be even bigger funding for it. And these things will be coming out every other year.
That's kind of like my thing for like VR too, and like Sarah Malka's wife probably will agree with me on this. It's like you get motion sick
You do.
so
Motion sickness is a thing.
easily and so quick from VR,
Yep.
and like I don't like the way I have to hold controllers.
The Steam has a great answer to that with their new VR thing coming out. I think it's gonna be great. Again, I don't want it because I don't care about VR. But I mean, okay, so it used to be when VR first came out is that you needed a huge open area because you had to have the towers, right? Then they started improving the lenses on the headset itself, and now all of a sudden you didn't need towers, medium room. But now the cameras are getting even better. Now you don't even need a huge room. But the problem is still going to be, whether people like it or not, is the physicality. It's that barrier of getting gamers off their butts and physically performing the action. That's a huge barrier. I don't want to do it. If I'm sitting there playing Uncharted, I'm damn sure don't want to do it for that game. I don't want to look. My knees are bad. I am over 40. I was not good to my body, and my knees are bad. I do not want to have to squat down and take cover in Gears of War. Okay,
Yeah,
I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And you don't have to. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. You can probably still press the buttons, but if you're still just pressing buttons and you're just looking at the world virtually, man, fuck that. 3D didn't work for the same damn reason. It's a great concept, and it's fun to see if we can do it and to see the technology being pushed. I love that part. I'm a hardware guy. I love seeing the technology being pushed, but we don't need it. And I think a lot of gamers share that sentiment. They work 10 hours. You work a 10. Let's say you work a 10-hour shift. You want to come home and strap up and go get physical in fucking PUBG or something? No, man, nobody does. Nobody does.
Sorry, I got flashbanged by you saying strap up and get physical.
Well, see, that would have been a great joke if Malachi was here.
Yeah,
Damn
really
it.
would've. It's a shame he's dead.
I'm gonna pour one out real quick for our
Not
homie.
on my. This is loose lay flooring. That's gonna get in between my floor, and I'm gonna have to clean the subflooring.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna pour one out. But speaking of technology, okay, and this is something I want to talk about when you said you want to talk about tech today, the chip shortage in particular. As a hardware guy, I love seeing technology get pushed forward. I love to see innovation, though. I love seeing the innovation, right? We're taking the concept, we're flipping it on its head, and we're pushing forward with new advancements in it. Now, the chip shortage. I don't know how much YouTube you watch or who you watch on YouTube, but I watch people like Austin Evans, Jay's Two Cents, Gamers Nexus, tech channels.
Gamers Nexus, I know.
Okay. He's been doing phenomenal pieces, by the way, on this whole thing. The dude's great.
I haven't caught up.
Oh my God. The dude went from like reviewing GPUs and doing behind the scenes factory tours to doing these huge investigations that are getting him Bloomberged and shit. And it is just, it's crazy, dude. So shout out to him. That man, damn. But if you go on YouTube right now, guys, you're going to be catching a lot of doom and gloom about the whole thing. And this is my serious moment. You guys are going to be catching a lot of doom and gloom on the whole situation. As everybody knows, Micron decided to step away from us. Consumers are no longer a priority for them. We don't give them enough money, so they ditched us, and they got rid of their Crucial line of RAM. If anybody, you probably have Crucial in your system. They do RAM, they do hard drives, storage, memory, all that stuff. So they decided to walk away because the market was just bigger in AI. And so, that was a huge blow, and it pissed off a lot of people. And, and duly, they all had their little outrage moments, F Micron this. And, you had Jay, an opener to one of his videos is, "You're not good enough. Fuck you." That's how Micron feels. That's what they said. And so there's a lot of outrage,
I'm so sorry.
And then every year, go look at Austin Evans' channel. I didn't notice this, but every year, I'd say probably since 23 or 22, every end of year, he makes the exact same video. Gaming in 2024 is fucked. Gaming in 2025 is fucked. I'm like, bro, every year you talk about how bad it's going to be the next year, and then you spend the next year gooning over tech. Just shut up. But what I want to say is this. Here's my hot take, and I mean hot take on the situation. I think this is good for us. I think shortages in chips. Yeah, go ahead, but I'm about to tell you why, and then you tell me what you think.
Okay.
I think this is a good thing for gaming in general. I think this is a really good thing for gaming in general. The reason why I think it's a good thing for gaming in general, and I'll tell you why, and I've been thinking this way, I've been having these thoughts since probably 2015, 2016, honestly. Okay, listen, guys, this is going to be some tough medicine to swallow. All right, so listen closely. You do not need a new CPU from AMD or Intel every year, or even every other year, or even every 3 years. You also don't need a new GPU every other year. It seems like every other year, the rumor mills start kick up about NVIDIA. Is NVIDIA going to announce a new RTX 6000 series or 7000 series at CES whenever? We don't need those. They're nice. That's cool. You get 20% faster because that's what it's been. You get about 20% improvement over last generation. And it's every 2 years.
I still have an i7 processor.
Yeah. And we don't need it. We don't need it.
They have i9s and stuff now.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so like when AMD came out with the 7000 series CPUs, I thought about upgrading. For reference, I have a 5600X that I've overclocked to 4.95 gigahertz. It's sitting on water. Sucker's fast enough for me. I have 16 gigs of RAM. It's running at 3800, which is faster than it really needs to be. But if I could do it, I did it. And I have an RTX 2070 Super that I also overclocked and put on water. So I have that hardware. It's ancient hardware. All that hardware came out in 2020 for reference. So it's 5 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
6.
But I just got through playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered on that system. Okay? 4K with DLSS set to performance, so 1080p outputted to 4K. And yeah, I didn't get a rock solid 60. I think I averaged right around 45 to 50 frames per second. Occasionally dipped because of the terrible optimization in that game down to like 38 for like a brief second. And while there are elitists out there going, fucking noob, that shit's terrible. I couldn't play with that. And there are people out there like that. There are influencers on YouTube who will tell you that that's dog water performance and that's not even passable. They wouldn't touch that, right? So that's a horrible message they're sending to people trying to come into PC going, oh, well, God. I mean, on PS5, I thought 30 was okay. I okay, right? So they're being told this performance is terrible, and that they have to have all this new hardware, to stay up to snuff. Here's what I'll say: this chip shortage is going to be a bonus for us because it's going to force developers, Larian Studios, Baldur's Gate 3. They've already said that they had to go back to the new Divinity game they're getting ready to release and re-optimize it, make it more optimized. That's a net positive for us. If hardware stales out and gets a little stagnant and CPU and GPU and RAM releases go to every 3 or 4 years, that forces developers to settle in with a new standard and optimize for it instead of pushing out these terribly unoptimized games that you have to have 16 gigs and 24 gigs of RAM to run. And, it's ridiculous.
180 gigabyte download for a game.
Exactly. So if this shortage can make developers stop for a moment and say, hey, we got to re-optimize now. NVIDIA's not putting out a new GPU. AMD's not putting out a new GPU. AMD has decided the 9000 series CPUs are good enough for now because they really can't afford to manufacture a whole new chip. That's a net positive for us. I would love to see hardware growth not necessarily stagnate, but slow down. Maybe a new GPU, especially from NVIDIA. Okay. I mean, because I got news for you guys. The next series of NVIDIA GPUs are going to be hellaciously expensive.
I'm not going to turn the camera back on. It has been down for probably like maybe 5 minutes. I'm just going to take my pants off now.
Hey, let's go. That's what's up. You going to get that checked out? That doesn't look natural.
Thought everybody's was a corkscrew.
That's like you're growing a whole new one on top of the old one.
Oh, that's just Jerry.
Why is it scaling?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm glad you actually brought that up. That it's going to force developers to have to possibly optimize games better because I feel like that's been a huge issue and probably one of the biggest complaints I've heard these last 2 years. Is a new game will come out, not optimized, and then the developers immediately have to throw patch after patch after patch right after release just to get
some
the game
games
situated.
are being patched 2 years after release.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Like I think Avowed was one of those games.
Yep.
Which I wanted to like that game. It got so boring so quick for me.
Fun fact.
It sucks because that's literally right up my alley of game, and the story just wasn't there.
Fun quick fact that people might not know is that every time a developer has to push a patch out onto consoles, they get charged for that by Xbox or Sony or Nintendo. If you want to push a patch out on their platform, they charge you.
Like the developer or
they charge
consumer?
The developer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I learned it back during Xbox and 360 PS3. Xbox 360 and PS3 era, is that if a developer needs to push out a patch, first of all, the patch has to be presented to Microsoft or Sony or whoever it is. They have to approve it, and then they're charged a fee. So imagine you have developers making these unoptimized games, right? Because hardware is ever evolving. They keep, quote unquote, pushing the envelope, aka unoptimized, right? To maximize profit. But now they're spending money to push these patches out. So you're spending money on the man time to create the patch. You're spending money to the corporations you're sending the patches out through.
And I think we are hitting an age of gaming where people are starting to rely less and less on how well the game looks. And I feel like more people in gaming are craving the gameplay. They want something that has actual fun. They want a game that's actually fun to play.
People are getting burned out on the Unreal Engine 5 aesthetic.
I think so too.
They are. No, yeah, absolutely are. Because it's not worth the performance hit to,
in my opinion,
have a UE5 game.
Now, mind you, I didn't like this game. Wasn't really my alley of game, but I still think it's one of the best games that has ever made. I feel like one of the best examples of that was Undertale.
I never played it.
I played a little bit of it. Again, it's not my alley of game, so I couldn't really get into it. But Undertale killed it. It was the only game I heard talked about from a bunch of my friends for the longest time. I was seeing YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video of it popping up. Yeah. And it's this pixelated 2D scroller.
Yeah. I mean,
game. And I feel like we're finally starting to hit an age of gaming again where people want games that are fun to play, but now it's also evolving to not just fun to play by yourself, but I feel like there's a lot more people wanting fun co-op games to play with each other. Like I feel like
They want
personally, I
they
feel like
want fun gameplay and they want the game to run well.
I also feel like PvP is starting to die.
Yeah, thank God too, because
Now, mind you,
I mean,
PvP has its place,
yeah, in
but
Battlefield and Call of Duty and
the sole I can't stand Call of Duty, but like PvP nowadays is just coming from a guy that works 40-hour work weeks. I have 2 kids, and I am a loyal, faithful husband, and I put those duties above all else. I do not want to hop on a game where I have to visibly sweat.
yeah.
Like I sometimes when I play Overwatch, I have to change shirts afterwards because I'm literally dripping with sweat from my armpits just to try to enjoy a game.
Well, some 13-year-old tells you all about how they did your mom, and in great detail.
And like, I feel like we're starting to get to a point where like there's more PVE. Like a good example of it would be Arc Raiders.
Yeah,
I feel like
Yeah.
Arc Raiders hit the formula on the head.
I think they did a good job.
One thing I don't really like that they did is, from what I've been told, and I'll have to look. You or me will look this up at some point.
Yeah.
Where if you're more into the PVE aspect, you're getting put in lobbies that are more PVE, like players that don't usually like, start shooting at other players. But if you do more PvP, that starts throwing you into more PvP lobbies.
Yeah,
Which
I
that
mean-
has its pros and its cons, and I can understand why that was a move. But I feel like letting players kind of have that interaction, kind of like if you're ever playing DayZ back in the day.
Oh yeah,
Like kind of having that
yeah.
interaction where you don't know if you're coming up on somebody that's gonna immediately try to start shooting at you, or if you can kind of negotiate.
Yep.
Because like we've had an instance playing Arc Raiders where like there was literally, I think there was 8 of us, like 8 teams of 3 in this giant 8-team battle. We were all just shooting at each other from different buildings. Everything's going off, and I sat there and I yelled, "Wait, stop!" Everybody stopped shooting. I hear this random dude go, "What?" He goes, "Y'all, there's like 15 of us. I don't think we all have the best gear on the planet because this game just came out. So, like, we're all pretty new. There's a big giant behemoth thing just right over there.
Yeah, I mean,
How about we all get together, blow that up, divvy up loot, and go our separate ways?" And everybody was like, yeah, you know what? And then, like, we all met up in the middle. Everybody had their guns away. And, like, some of us were trading ammo, bandages for, like, get everybody back up situated.
Mhm.
Some guys were trading gear. It's like, "Oh, hey, I need one of these. I'll give you this for it."
Yep.
And so, like, we had a little moment like that. Went and destroyed a behemoth, and we all just went our separate ways. Some of us extracted, some of us stayed. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment.
I would love to see a huge rise in PVE games, like open world PVEs, even.
Absolutely. Like, there's a new not No Man's Sky, but Hello Games.
Yeah,
No Man's
I
Sky.
saw that. Yeah.
The Light No Fire, I think it's
Yep.
called.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how excited I am for that.
Now, for me, I want like a PVE combat where it's kind of like DayZ, but better.
Yeah.
Because DayZ's okay for something that used to be, a mod
Oh
of
my God.
another game, but
Playing OG DayZ was.
it was off the hook, dude. It was crazy. It was really, really crazy.
I'm really excited about Light No Fire because the way that they're trying to run it is like instead of being, multiple planets like No Man's Sky was, it's one planet.
Mm-hmm.
And like everything that everybody builds is like on that planet. So we could potentially, the first year of that game being out, we could have like multiple cities. That's a whole bunch of different players that you can actually travel to. Like me and all my people that play in here in the East Texas area that probably will be playing that game together could build a city. And then all my people that live out more north, like over in, I'm sorry, Chase, I forgot where you live. I want to say Virginia, but I don't think that's right. But like my Canadian friends and all them, like that whole little group of people, if they build their own city, we could theoretically make a road to each other's cities in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, I love the idea that they're going for that because I've always wanted to play a game that like is pretty much Minecraft, but way better.
And you know what pisses me off is, as much as I hate Unreal Engine 5, I don't hate the engine. I hate the way developers are using the engine. Okay.
True.
But UE5 actually has the toolkit to make that a reality. If only you could find a developer that can actually use the engine properly, because they have what's called world tiles. So you could have simultaneous world tiles with a seamless transition between them. So that would, the Unreal Engine 5 would actually facilitate that being a reality.
My biggest worries that I was thinking about with that.
Hmm.
So like, how is the game going to render all of this while you're playing it? For starters, because like for instance, when you're in Minecraft, if you're on a Minecraft server, right?
Mhm.
Let's say you have somebody on this world on this tile over here, and then you have like 10 other people on 10 other tiles, and the server is rendering all of those tiles simultaneously because people are on those tiles. For the people that did not have very good PCs back then,
Yeah.
like you had to play on the lowest possible settings of Minecraft, which is not saying much.
Well, I think in today's age, the way it'd have to be is you would have server side rendering for the larger tiled,
And then like maybe client side rendering
and
for
then
other things.
some client side. Microsoft actually demoed something like this back in 2013 when they showed off. Oh my god, what's that? What's that damn game that's supposed to be so awesome? Then it came out and it sucked. But they were talking about client side rendering.
Good job describing most of the games that
Bro,
came out in
no, it was.
2025.
Oh my god, I don't remember. It was such a bad game. I've erased it from my memory. But yeah, you would have server side rendering for like the larger chunk things for like handling inventory stuff like that. All the things that are rendered on the spot, and then you'd have client side rendering for the more stable, steady things. Your character model, your loadout, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be a way, but then again, it goes back to the whole people are tired of games that are always online.
True, and
I don't want to have an Diablo 4. I love Diablo 4. I hate the fact that I have to be logged in to play it.
mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to. What pisses me off the most is that's not true on the console version. Same thing with Diablo 3. Console versions, you can play offline. Well, no, not on D4, but on D3, when it came out, they had the always online for PC. But then when it came out on console, you could play offline.
Yeah, that's how me and Malachi played Diablo
Yeah,
3.
and it's like, well, why the fuck can't I do that on PC? So the always online thing, I don't care what Asmongold says. People want offline.
Yeah.
And so all these service games.
Ooh, one last thing, because we did hit the 1 hour mark, so I don't want to go too terribly longer, but I do want to
Okay.
talk about like maybe one or two more things.
Yeah.
Did you hear that potentially the Nemesis system from Shadow of War
Mm-hmm.
may come back?
Ooh, I'd be interested to see how they did that. I'd be interested to see all the legal red tape that they go through to get that done.
Dude, if the Nemesis system could come back out, because that before its time, that was the Nemesis system was so awesome.
Who owns it now? It's Warner Brothers, right? Because I don't think Monolith is a studio anymore.
I don't know,
I think Warner Brother owns it.
maybe, but that was one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, do you remember Sucker Punch Studios?
Yeah.
Responsible for Infamous.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a thing that said that we could potentially have a new Infamous game.
I want to be excited for that. I really do. I do, but Second Son was terrible.
I loved Second Son.
You know.
I'm sorry, I really did. I'm a sucker for all the Infamous games, like
Oh, dude, yes, man. The
amazing world building, great story.
The
fun
first one is
combat.
the first one's obviously that's my favorite.
Number 2 was my favorite.
Number 2 was good, but if I remember right, they changed the voice actor for the main character.
Cole McGrath.
Mm-hmm.
I never caught it. But
Yeah,
granted,
it's very subtle. I
mind
mean,
you,
the guy did a decent
I
job.
played 2 before 1
Mm-hmm.
on accident
Well, it happens.
because me and Malcolm we asked for Infamous for our
But
birthday
you know what?
one
It
year.
could be
and
fun doing
that's
that,
what I got.
can it? Because you play the second one, and then you have all these questions. So then you play the first one to get your answers.
Oh, and the second one does a great job of like if you've never played the first one,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't need to have played the first one to understand the second one.
Yeah.
Which was great. I love it when games do that. Kind of like Witcher. The Witcher games are actually not bad about that because it does
Yeah.
give you like a little intro, like your beginning of the playing, and kind of like gives you a little bit to go off of.
That's right. It's really good. The Witcher games are great. I mean, I've never
The
beaten
books
the first
are
one.
not the greatest. The books are hard to read.
My wife's the only one in our group that's beaten the first one, and she did it twice for fun.
I've beaten all 3 a couple times.
I have never beaten the first one. I just can't get into it.
That's fair.
Yeah. I did find out, though, that they did a remaster of it, or they're doing a remaster of it for console and PC. I might give it a try.
And we're getting another Witcher DLC for Witcher 3.
Oh, are we really?
Yep.
I didn't see that one.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
But I'm excited about another Infamous game because, like we were talking about, like people are getting tired of like all the multiplayer, all the PvP, all the games have to look bedazzling.
Mhm.
Like I think we're going to start hitting good single player experiences because honestly,
That would be great again. It would be great to have those.
all these battle royales and PvP games that came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think for starters, they killed the Let's Player.
Yeah.
on YouTube. They really did.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Rad Brad, for those of
Oh
us that know,
yeah. Yep.
I would watch him every single day because he was, mind you, poor family. I couldn't just go get a new console and play all these games I wanted to play. So I would have to watch Rad Brad playing the games that I wanted to play.
And it's sort of like getting a demo, so you
Kinda,
know if you'd
yeah.
even play it.
This is how I discovered I wanted to play The Last of Us because like for Christmas, my dad was like, "Hey, we got a PlayStation 3." It came with this game called The Last of Us. Didn't know if y'all would enjoy that. Me and Malk, I practically exploded out of the ceiling.
Great game. Great
Wonderful
game.
game.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2 wasn't terrible, wasn't it?
Nah, it just wasn't it at all. Yeah. No.
Like I didn't mind Last of Us 2.
You know what The Last of Us Part 2 felt like to me really quick? Is it felt like The Last of Us 1 was successful and they didn't understand why. It does. It felt like The Last of Us, because Part 1 was so good. Everybody loved it. And they had no idea why.
Oh, but
So they just made a
to
second one.
finish my thought on a new Infamous game by chance,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to feel because from what I saw, what people were theorizing is either A, Delson Rowe, which is the guy you play in Second Son, is
Mm-hmm.
going to be the bad guy,
Oh,
which I
okay.
don't think they'd do.
Hmm.
Number 2, it's just a continuation of Delson Rowe's story to some degree.
As it should have been.
And number 3, which was the most outlandish one that I read, because apparently in the Infamous universe, the canonical ending is Cole McGrath turning into the Beast. Spoiler alert,
Mm-hmm.
is becoming the Beast. And then apparently there's some timeline nonsense that happens. And so the third game, or this new Infamous game that's going to come out, is going to be you playing Cole McGrath from another timeline.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
sort of like a multiverse kind of
I
thing?
don't know. I need to look up. I'm waiting for some more info to possibly come out because I've been listening and hearing about teasers of a new Infamous game.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the moment anybody ever says Infamous, I'm reading the entire article. Because again, it's one of my favorite games of all time.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if somebody told me that there was a new Dishonored game coming out, I'd be the exact same way. But I have no idea where they would take another. I don't know how they would do another Dishonored game without doing like a prequel kind of game because technically speaking, The Outsider is dead after Dishonored 2.
Do you think gamers are getting tired of sequels too?
Sequels or prequels?
No, I'm talking just like, yeah, sequels or prequels. Like they're getting tired of, like we want new IPs.
Honestly, I was about to say, I think we need to hit a point where like.
I mean, look at the 360. I keep going back because it's the best generation ever. That's on my list. Spoiler alert. When we do the tier list thing, I'm giving that generation an S. You guys can fight me on it if you want. But during the 360 and PS3 era, look at all the new IPs that came out. You look at the interviews, no one knew if they were going to be successful, but they ran with it because they were passionate about it. And then it ended up being successful. It vibed with the community and it was successful. Now all we have are scared fucking investors that are like, nah, you're making another Assassin's Creed because the last one sold.
Yeah, we did not need another Call of Duty Black Ops game.
Hell no.
Honestly, Activision needs to they need to shoot that horse.
I'm glad Black Ops 7 failed. It was a failure. It's still a failure.
You know, after almost like what has it been? Like the last 4 Call of Duty games that have come out have been destroyed by indie games that came out around the same time.
Well, Black Ops 6 was actually extremely successful when it first came out, and then it fell off with all these stupid ass skins that they kept pushing down our throats. And then when Battlefield 6 came out, it was the first. I think Battlefield 3 did it to Black Ops, but I think Black Ops ended up actually being the dominant game because they released around the same time. But when Battlefield 6 came out, Black Ops 7 came out like a month or so later, and people were like, "Yeah, we don't really care, dude. We're playing Battlefield."
Yeah.
And I mean, now, granted, it's starting to shift a little bit, but
one thing though is like Call of Duty wasn't bad at making war games.
They weren't bad at making war games. I
just-
mean, the first Call of Duty came out on PC only, and then it was so successful, they decided, you know what, we're going to branch out to consoles.
The direction they're going is just it's not it.
No, it's not it. But you know, here's the thing: it's okay if it dies. It's okay if the FPS genre takes a back seat for a while.
You know, honestly, I think Activision should hit a complete 180 and start making like medieval combat games.
You know, they have quite an impressive list of other kinds of games under their belt that they could tap into at any time.
Call of Duty 1480,
I don't want to imagine that.
where you play a knight.
Why? So you're no, I get. Oh, you're saying because the play on words there, Call of Duty, doesn't have to mean
They
gun.
they don't need to keep doing like all this like futuristic warfare crap and whatnot.
How would you make it a
Honestly,
PvP that's very successful though?
you grab the people
And do you
that
really want to
did.
see Beavis and Butthead
Hang on,
in medieval
hang on.
armor?
You grab the people that did For Honor. You grab the
Mhm.
people that did Chivalry, and
I
you grab the
love For
people that
Honor.
did
Oh, I
Kingdom
love-
Come Deliverance. You grab some of those people to
Maybe
come
not
and help
Kingdom
you make.
Come. Because then you're not gonna get it.
Fair,
Yeah,
fair.
because I don't think you're gonna get these tweens trying to understand the combat like what's in Kingdom Come.
But like, can you imagine if Call of Duty decided to just hit a whole 180 and make medieval
Hey,
combat
it'd be a
games
huge
or
middle
medieval
finger to the
warfare
esports
games?
community. I don't
Oh,
see
it-
a single esports sponsor
It would be great.
covering Call of Duty Medieval Ass Kicker 3.
Hmm.
You know? I just don't, man. And let's be honest though, if you did stream it, like if you did stream that kind of game, it would literally look like 5-year-olds with the rubber foam things just whacking each other.
Probably.
It would be sliding 360 no scopes broadsword to the skull, biatch. I mean, come on.
I mean, it would be something different. We just like
It would be different.
Activision needs to do something with the Call of Duty IP that is not whatever they've been doing for the last couple of years. They need
Barney
to try
with
something different.
Barney with a halberd. You can sell me on it. I will buy it and promote it. Barney with a halberd. Get me a Barney skin. Okay, the big purple bastard himself with a halberd singing "I love you" while I am cutting people in half. That shit would sell.
I got to write some letters.
Fun,
I can send some emails.
dumb carnage. $60. Don't be pushing that $80 bullshit down my throat.
Right.
Because we all know you're going to be putting in DLC and skin packs. $60, bro.
If it's gonna be $80, I want a bunch of free stuff.
If it's $60,
I want
I'm
$20
more
worth of free
inclined.
stuff.
If it's $60, I'm more inclined to buy the $14.99 Barney skin.
Right.
If it's $80, this shit better come with the Barney skin.
Well,
I think you're onto something, dude. I kind of like it.
well, believe we've reached the almost hour 20 mark. I think having a just you and me episode wasn't a bad idea.
No, not a bad idea at all. Yeah, it's actually pretty
I
good.
almost thought about, and I kind of want to get audience participation on this. I
Yeah.
almost thought about forcing you to do an interview.
Yeah.
I almost just interviewed you for this episode.
Hey, I
Kind
tell
of like
you
how we
what,
interviewed my pawpaw and
you're
some of our guests and
probably
stuff.
one of 4 people that actually know my background.
you.
Been
You've
through some
lived
shit.
a life.
I people don't understand it. You know, they look at me and they go, "Fuck, you're old looking," or my knees will go out on me one day and they're like, "Damn, why are you so old?" Many people they don't know my story. I don't tell it either.
For those of y'all listening, because I didn't feel like hooking the camera back up, I'm gonna get that fixed one of these days. I got my eyes set on these specifically for podcast recording cameras that hopefully I'll get my hands on sometime this year or next year.
Mm-hmm.
But would y'all like to have an interview series where me, Malachi, and David kind of tell our own stories? I'd love to be able to do something like that. The only something that love to hear from y'all about. Also, because I know we didn't talk about it yet, just a little update. We are looking in the near future. I'm thinking either the next episode or the episode after. We will be not so much live streaming it, but we will start taking phone calls.
I think we should start with like TikTok.
Like-
have your TikTok open and have people sending you messages in real time and we'll answer them.
But we're figuring out something where, like, while we are actively recording an episode, to have live participation from an audience.
Yeah, because right now in our area, live streaming is going to be a very difficult thing to pull off.
Yeah. So any input from y'all would be great, or if anybody even has a few pointers. I don't know if he follows the podcast, but I got a buddy on that streams on TikTok and stuff, streams Overwatch. He's been helping me with some of my gaming content I just started. And he's giving me a few pointers. If you're listening to this, you know who you are. Help a brother out. Oh, vice versa on TikTok, by the way. He's an amazing Overwatch player, a great sojourn, cool dude overall, very handsome gentleman as well. But yeah, I don't know if we got any other updates for the podcast or anything else. Looking for a new guest. Put your name in the hat if you live close enough and you want to come over for a recording. Love to have anybody.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be great. I have a couple of people who really want to, or just trying to get schedules to line up.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
But again, thank you everybody for listening. Thank you for this special edition of Ethan and David Tech Tips.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody listening today, and we're going to go ahead and call it a day and clock out.